Hey, this is Sam Black, and just finished a league with this Reveler burn deck, going 3-2, with both of my losses being to Scapeshift decks, and one of my wins very narrowly beating a Scapeshift deck. So a bit of a weird sample size, but the deck felt a little better than I thought, to be honest. I think Reveler exceeded my expectations, and Manamorphose and Gitaxian Probe were both independently less awkward than I imagined, less awkward with Eidolon of the Great Revel than I imagined, and slightly overperformed with Monastery Swift Spear. So I definitely liked roughly where this main deck is at. I think it's in a pretty interesting place. The sideboard could certainly use some work. I think as much as I like the idea of picking up percentage against burn in the sideboard that I'm giving up in the main, I just don't think that's the way Modern works. I think I'm really overboard there. Probably also overboard against Dredge. I think I can just plan to race them straight up. So I would say keep very little of this sideboard as is. Almost certainly want access to at least 4 Skullcrack effects, and probably just, a better diversity of normal burn sideboard type cards. The first Stony Silence is probably pretty good. A Deflecting Palm or 2 would probably help. At least some kind of plan against Scapeshift if it's somehow going to be 60% of the metagame, which it clearly isn't. It was kind of thrown together, and it's just, the more I look at it, not a very realistic Modern sideboard. Grimlawmancer would be another card to strongly consider. Also, it's worth noting that I'm playing a Steam Events to make the Gitaxian Probes sometimes painless, so it would be possible to board blue cards and then just aggressively fetch the Steam Vents. There are a lot of different directions that you could go there. You could board Negate or Invasive Surgery, or is it Static Caster? Especially if you were going to board out Bump Night or Boris Charm in matchups where you bring in those blue cards, which is definitely something to consider. Bedlam Reveler felt kind of like a treasure cruise that gives you a great creature. Definitely a card to pay attention to in Modern. This is a good home for it. I can imagine it also playing well in some kind of blue-red Delver type shell. Not going to be as good as Treasure Cruise if your deck is more likely to need to discard cards that it cares about when it casts this, and also it's not a spell to flip Delver, but it is really nice that it leaves your graveyard intact for future Revelers or anything else that's using your graveyard. That's all I have for right now. Thanks.